With her, FM Radio, Baltimore.
Hi, Coach Paterno. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
You played Pitt a couple weeks ago. What do you see getting ready for another matchup against Pitt? Is it just different? Are they different this time around, or just basically the same?
They're pretty much the same, but they've had a week off to prepare. And Kevin's an outstanding coach, so I'm sure there'll be new wrinkles in their lineup. Every road game's tough in this ACC. This ACC is a very difficult conference because there's no longer a bottom. Last year we had a bottom. This year, I think Boston College and Georgia Tech were picked at the bottom, and they're certainly not bottom teams. They can beat anybody in our conference. They played BC played North Carolina to the wire, and Georgia Tech beat North Carolina. And if you look at the statistical data, North Carolina's almost on the top of every category. So there is no bottom anymore, and it's very difficult to win on the road, certainly. But that's what makes it fun.
Do you feel like everybody's even now in this league? Like even playing field, or are some teams still struggling to try to get to the top level?
Well, I think certainly Georgia Tech and Boston College are rebuilding their brand.
Mm-hmm.
But while they're rebuilding, they're playing very competitive basketball. I always say it takes 4 to 5 years to build a program. And it takes to have a great season is very misleading, because when you have 5 years under your belt, you've now recruited sophomores, juniors, you're in there, and it's all about recruiting, scouting, learning the system, developing your culture, and those teams are going to be there. There's no question in my mind that Jimmy Christian and Josh will turn those programs around, but they're winning now because they're very competitive, and they're doing an outstanding job of coaching. But give them time, and once they get the nucleus and their culture, they'll be ready to compete at the top level.
Thanks, Coach.
With her, FM Radio, Baltimore.
Hi, Coach Stallings. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Talk about you say you had a week off again. You're going to play Louisville tomorrow. What do you see on film? Because Louisville's a very tough. They got a good inside game, a good 3-point shooting team. What do you guys got to do to stop them from putting up a lot of points?
Well, they're just a very complete team. You mentioned things about their offense, and I would say that they're even better on defense than they are on offense. So that just tells you what a complete team they are. They're great on the boards. I think that their offensive rebounding, their length at the goal, are two things that are really formidable. Obviously, they're good off the bounce, and they're an excellent shooting team, and so it's just the fundamentals of things that you always do. You try to take away transition points, you try to take away second chance points. It's all fundamental basketball that you have to be good in order to have a chance to beat them, and we'll need to make some shots. I think that's just the nature of our team this year is we need to be able to make some shots, and but at the same time we're going to need to get the ball to the goal, whether it be Pastner or driving it, and so again, it just takes a complete game to beat them, because they're good in every facet. As I said before, he's a Hall of Fame coach, and for good reason, and so they've got a lot of ways they can beat you, and so you have to be complete in your attack and the way you're set up and the way you execute.
Coach, good luck this week.
Thank you very much. Baltimore.
Hey, Coach Mike, how you doing?
Good to see you, man. Good to talk to you.
How you doing? Good win yesterday on Saturday against Syracuse. What do you guys have to do to carry that over, this week?
Well, I tell you what, we're playing a team that we've had no answers for. Virginia's really had our number. Just a great program with a machine-like system, and you're going to have to move that defense around. You're not going to get anything quick because they're so good defensively, and then you're going to have to be patient defensively because they play at a slower pace and use a lot of the shot clock.
And I want to do a follow-up on.
Question comes from David Teal with the
Never mind.
Press. FM Radio, Baltimore.
Hey, Coach Bennett, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing great. Talk about how difficult it is to play a basketball game in South Bend at that arena.
Well, with their success, I think their fans really have appreciated the job Coach Brey has done in that team. They've been very, very good, very steady, very successful. successful. And, I think they really go about trying to recruit the right kind of people. We've been involved in a lot of recruiting wars with them, and they get character guys, and I think their fans can really appreciate how they do it, the team ball that they play. It's certainly fun to watch, and there's excitement when you go in there. There really is. You have to play really well to be competitive against them, and they're showing that. And I think the fans, that's South Bend is. I think they have some pretty faithful fans, so they've seen a lot of good basketball, a lot of good football, so they know what quality is, and they really rally behind it.
Thanks, Coach.
My next question comes from Doug Down, FM Radio Baltimore.
Hi, Coach Boeheim. How you doing?
Hi.
Doing great. Talk about this game coming up against Wake Forest. Are they improving from last year? Are they getting better each year you face them?
I think they're a much improved team. They've got a lot of good players. They're veterans now. They've got a lot of experience, and I think they're a very talented team. And they've got answers at every position. They've got good depth, and I think they're playing very well.
I know Coach Manning. I know you played against, coached against him when he was at Kansas. Is he turning into a good college coach?
Okay, Coach. Thanks for taking time to meet today. All right. Yeah, with Herb, FM Radio Baltimore.
Hey, Coach Manning. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing great. Talk about playing in the Carrier Dome. How noisy is that dome when it comes to a basketball game? I know in football, it's when they're good, it's very noisy. Is it the same thing?
I don't know because I've never been there for a football game. But I mean, for me, I like environments like that. I like it loud. I think that it enhances what you're into it for. It's a great, obviously, so it's a great sport and things like that. And I think it's unique whenever you go play at different places, how they incorporate their fans and the noise levels and things like that. But I think it's fun to play on the road and play in situations like that. And I certainly think that in all situations, the home court does mean something with the excitement and energy that your fans can bring. And on the flip side of it, it's, the opposing team wants to silence the fans and bring that noise level down by executing offensively and defensively. So, I think when teams are going good and it's juiced in the building, it's a great atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
But, when you're the road team, you don't want that atmosphere to happen because of what you're doing execution-wise, offensively and defensively. But, when I got to Syracuse, when I got to Wake, that was the first time I've ever gone to a game or been involved in a game at Syracuse. And for me, I enjoyed it just because I watched so many Big East games as a fan of basketball. And so it was just nice to be able to check that off my bucket list.
Nice. And what do you have to do tomorrow to pull out a win up there?
Well, Syracuse is a team that their zone and their zone defense, and so we're going to have to make sure the ball moves. We're going to have to not settle for long jump shots all the time, although we have to make our fair share. But we got to make sure we continue to stress, get the ball to the paint touches, because we feel like if we get the ball to the paint, we can drop it off to our bigs, or we can kick it out to our shooters who have to be ready to shoot on the catch. And then defensively, we've got to do a good job of rebounding the basketball. They're very long, they're very athletic. They do an outstanding job of getting to the glass. They've got some guys that really score the ball at a very high and efficient clip. I think White has come in and given them something that they needed this year. He's up to almost 17 points, almost 18 points a game in league play. Then Tyler London is playing great, and Battle. Those three guys are, doing majority of the heavy lifting as far as scoring the points and playing minutes. So we've got to make sure we know where those three are at all times. And, Gillian is someone who's got some experience, who's a very good basketball player. Thompson and Roberson are playing well. And then they've got Coleman who's coming back into the mix, and then Howard. So they've got a really talented basketball team.
Well, I hope you have safe travels to Syracuse tomorrow.
Thank you. FM Radio Baltimore.
Hey, it's Coach Hamilton. How you doing?
Fine.
Talk about this big game coming up against Georgia Tech on the road. What do you see getting ready for that game?
Georgia Tech has really played outstanding basketball. With the exception of the Duke game, I think they have been
position to win just about every game for a long period in every game. So they have our attention. We won't be looking because they were not expecting to have as good a year as they're having. We definitely have taken notice. They run an excellent offense. They run a multiple type of defensive system where they're boxing one, they're 1-3-1, they're 2-3, they're 3-2, they're full court pressing to show you up. And once they get in the half court, they are attacking the basket, get to the free throw line. They got the number one shot blocker in the league. We have a freshman that's had over 30. So they're running a system that complements who they are. In fact, most teams in the ACC, and if you're not mentally ready to give it all you have, then something negative can happen. So we will be prepared to go in and play as well as we're capable of playing.
And how difficult it is to play in Atlanta? Because Atlanta's a very good, I want to say a good basketball city. They got the Hawks and all that stuff. Is it good to go up there and play up there in Atlanta?
Well, we do a lot of, we base a lot of our recruiting out of the Georgia area. But to be honest with you, when we travel, it's all basketball, it's all business with us. We won't get caught up in where we are. We're pretty strategic as to how we do things. But we will be more concerned about those guys that are between 94 by 50. We won't concern ourselves what goes on outside of the court in Atlanta. This is a good basketball team, the leading shot blocker in the league. They're playing good basketball. That's going to be our main concern.
Well, good luck this week.
Thank you.
FM Radio Baltimore.
Hi, Coach Josh. How you doing?
What's happening?
Nothing much. I followed you when you were in Memphis, and now you're here in the ACC. Congratulations for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Talk about the game coming up against Florida State. What do you see getting ready for that game? Because I know they're 5-1 and they're top of the division, and they're playing very good basketball at home, but on the road they had a tough loss against North Carolina.
Listen, they're really, really good. They're a team that can make a run to the Final Four run. They're loaded. They're deep. They're well coached. They play very good, defense. They got pros on their team. They're just a high level team, and they play a lot of guys. And on all the guys they play are able to play. So I think this is Coach Hamilton's again. I don't know all of his teams, but I would imagine this is his most talented team he's had. They're really good, and we're going to have to be really, really good if we're going to have any opportunity to beat them. They're big, they're long, they got pros on their team, and multiple pros on their team. So that makes it, we're going to need to be where we will need to be near perfect in the areas that we can control if we wouldn't have an opportunity to have any chance to win the game.
Well, good luck Wednesday night.